Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to Trippy Commentaries. I hope y'all had a great weekend. We have some huge revelations to make in this episode. Grand Theft Auto has always been known to have the best Easter eggs, especially back in GTA San Andreas. There were a ton of different things to find in that game. Well, that continues in this version of San Andreas. And right now, I feel like the UFOs and the aliens are the biggest secret to find here in GTA 5. Well, it turns out that downtown Los Santos has the most to do with UFOs. I know you're thinking all of them are found in Blaine County. You have the one at Fort Zancudo, the one above the alien hippie camp, and also the one above the mighty Mount Chiliad. Well, for some reason, Los Santos is telling us all about the UFOs, and we all know that the alien abduction that occurred in this game to Michael happened in downtown as well. So let's take a look at that in this episode. There's some crazy stuff going on here in downtown Los Santos, and maybe this is the mecca for all things UFOs and extraterrestrials. Once again, thank you guys so much for joining up for the episode. I greatly appreciate all the support you guys have been giving me, especially as we had a hurricane headed right towards us. We are all good here at the channel, and we have some epic things coming at you. So let's check out why maybe this is the answer to the Chiliad Mystery Mural, my friends. Thanks again for joining up for the brand new episode, guys. That was a clip from the movie Independence Day, and you can see that the building that was blown up is resembled here in Los Santos by the Maze Bank building. And if you look around, there's some pretty crazy colors around here. There's a purple tower. This one has red and blue. There's a bright blue one to the left. But the Maze Bank is the only building in the area that has the same green that shows off on that UFO from the movie. So that is Rockstar's Easter egg towards Independence Day with the Maze Bank building, and we'll be talking a little bit more about that building here shortly. But another UFO symbol is over on the Arcadius building. You guys have probably seen this one before, but the logo of the Arcadius building is a replica symbol of the Zancudo UFO. It is a little bit easier to see during the daytime, but I do have to say a lot of the lights in the area show off some UFO resemblance, so I think it's really important to look at this place during the middle of the night. But you can still see that is definitely the same exact outline as the Zancudo UFO. We know that's a top secret project, so maybe they are involved. The fountain down there is also in the same shape of the UFO. So very strange. Let me know if you guys have any idea why the Arcadius building would have that symbol. And that's another place I will look at very shortly. But I did want to point out one more UFO symbol in the same area. If you look down, not too far away from the Penrith building, there is this statue. I believe it's an eagle or a phoenix, something like that. But the higher you rise above it, you can see it is also showing off what looks to be lighting in a UFO shape. Check that out, guys. It's pretty crazy. It looks like a UFO, and as I said, it goes from the smaller UFO, you rise up, perhaps the bird's eye view, to show off an even bigger UFO. The outer lights make up a shape very similar to that light that shines down from the Zancudo UFO, and this is right next door to the FIB building. FIB is written on the UFOs as well, so that's really made us speculate that the government is behind all of the alien activity in the game. Maybe they're working together. Let me know if you guys know of any other light symbols that show off here in the downtown region because, like I said, this is all pointing towards the alien activity. Very strange, but we all know that the abduction goes down right here in downtown, and Michael is in the center of it all. So both times that Michael hallucinates, he has alien visions. I really think that shows he has a direct link to the aliens. I'm not sure why monkeys are involved, but it's pretty interesting what happens when they bring him into the UFO. You can see the full moon in the background. So the aliens are scoping him out, and it seems like they're having some sort of conversation. They're trying to figure him out. Maybe they have some sort of thought about him, or perhaps they sense something about Michael, but they send him back down to Earth. It doesn't seem like they had him for very long. And then as he tumbles back towards the surface, of course only wearing his boxers, so they definitely took off his clothes for some reason, but he gets sent right back down towards downtown. You can see everything is illuminated. And I have a feeling the fact that they're sending you right back towards this area is definitely symbolic. And the one thing that has always stood out is this spiral. Maybe this has something to do with the aliens as well. Let me know if you have any ideas. But then when everything comes back down to Earth, you can see the vision come straight out of Michael's eye. See the eye is one of the major clues. It seems like all of the major symbols and clues that we have with the Chiliad Mystery are all pointing towards downtown. I have to give a huge shout out to Dibs Gaming. I'll put a link in the description to his newest episode. Definitely check him out, guys. He puts out amazing content. He was looking at the window right here at Michael's house in his living room. He has a pretty cool view. Right outside you can see the Epsilon building, and then there is the FIB building. It does say FIB on the UFOs, but if you look at the FIB logo, it's kind of hard to see, but there is a very strange texture when you move your head up and down in first person mode. Once again, check out Dibs Gaming's new video. He'll explain it more in depth, but you definitely have to admit Michael has a perfect view. Looks like his family's hanging out. Nice. Well, we don't have time to eat dinner with you guys tonight because we have to look at downtown Los Santos. Check that out. The Epsilon building, the Maze Bank. Michael has the perfect house. Let's go check out the hidden symbols from the Mount Chiliad Mystery Mural and how they are all found in downtown. Now, we definitely showed off the UFO. It is in several different locations around downtown, and we know that the UFO has some abduction activity here in the city. I'm not too sure who else has been abducted, maybe some of the Epsilon cultists. Here we are back at the Maze Bank. We have to look at the two fountains because this is where the egg is represented. Now the fountain on the right, I'm not too sure if there's anything special about it, but if you look at the outline, it is in a very odd shape, so maybe there's some sort of sacred geometry symbol there or something like that. But this fountain does resemble the egg in multiple ways. Now, many people have pointed out that there's a pink crack that goes down the middle. You can see it better during the daytime, but really it's about the egg of life. From the bird's eye view, it makes up the same symbol as the egg of life. See, there's the pink crack that goes down the middle. Either way, that's the egg part of the mural. So you have the UFO, the egg, and then the third symbol is the jetpack, which is represented by the Penrith building, which is in the shape of a jetpack. That is definitely epic. We've talked about that here before because it kind of connects everything. Shoot for the stars, see the eye, and then the jetpack itself, which is definitely represented by the Penrith building. You can see it from a bird's eye view as well. I do have to point out that many people have told me that the Arcadius building might also be in the shape of a jetpack, but that is not the case. I know maybe you can see that from one angle and say that could be a slight jetpack resemblance, but the fact that there's actually 3 different sides, maybe that's closer to resembling the flux capacitor. That's definitely a discussion for another day. But once again, guys, the Penrith building, which we have looked at many times, that is a symbol of the jetpack. I'll put a link in the description where I showed that off for the first time. But that is the third symbol itself. So you have the jetpack, the UFO, and the egg. So that is the Chiliad mural, and we all know that on the top of the mural is what looks to be a UFO, and with the UFO abduction here by Michael, maybe that shows you that the mural is represented here at downtown Los Santos. Of course, the Mile High Club, is it telling us that we need to get a mile high to get abducted? It's pretty interesting how this whole area has so much going on. Lester has known about the UFOs, and we know that he is mapping out the area. So this is Lester's house. Right behind us, there's a blueprint of the flux capacitor with a sticky note that says 88 miles per hour and even shows the DeLorean. And right over his bed, there's the map of downtown Los Santos. Now there's a bunch of writing on there, so you know he has some idea of what's going on. He has a poster that shows he knows the truth about aliens. And there's even a box that's marked Desert UFO. What do you know, Lester? Tell us. He must be the only character in the game that knows how to solve the Chiliad mystery. Thanks so much for joining up for the episode, guys. Like I said, stay tuned. I have a couple huge episodes planned for you guys. And I also have a live stream, so hopefully you guys can join up for that. Make sure to stay tuned here at Trippy Commentaries. Have a great week. And of course, more importantly, as always, make sure to stay trippy, my friends.